welcome to Miracle English Language and Literature Institute. I'm Professor Aphra Sharma, and today we will take up the great English female authors. Do not confuse them with feminist writers. They were just female writers who were writing like any other writers. The fifth on our list is Aphra Behn, the first official female author who was a dramatist, poet, and fiction writer who earned a living through writing. She belonged to the 17th century. Her first play, The Forced Marriage, was published in 1670. Her famous fiction, Orinoco, 1688, is a story of an enslaved African prince. It has the theme of slavery, race, and gender. The next on our list is the writer of these eternal lines. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth, breadth, and height my soul can reach. Smiles, tears of all my life, and if God choose, I shall love thee better after death. Yes, this was Elizabeth Barrett Browning, a Victorian poet known for her sonnets from the Portuguese and Aurora Leigh. Her love affair to the famous English poet Robert Browning, their elopement to Italy, marriage, etc. have always been a subject of interest for the readers. The next on our list is George Eliot, wrote by the pen name, the real name being Mary Ann Evans. She developed the method of psychological analysis of the character in a novel. She was a sub-editor of the Westminster Review. Her masterpiece was Middlemarch. She used a male pen name for she wanted her work to be taken seriously in the male-dominated society. Those days, women only wrote light-hearted romances. She wanted to venture freely in writing and never wanted to disclose her true identity, so to stop the readers from having any apprehensions about women writers. Her other famous novels are Adam Bede, Silas Marner, Mill on the Floss, etc. The next on our list are the three Bronte sisters. Like many of their contemporaries, wrote under male pseudonyms Currer, Ellis, and Actionville. Charlotte Bronte. She wrote Jane Eyre, which was published in 1847. Jane's life from her orphan childhood to being a governess, her moral and spiritual sensibility, and her romance with Byronic hero Mr. Rochester. Charlotte is often termed as the first historian of the private consciousness. Emily, the second one, wrote only one novel, which is a classic, Wuthering Heights. The romance between Catherine and Heathcliff has the dynamics of Gothic romance, where the lover is demonic and the beloved suffers the violence of his feelings. Anne Bronte, the youngest, she has two novels to her credit, Agnes Grey and The Tenant of Whitfall Hall. Our list is topped by Jane Austen, the writer from the Romantic era. The first female writer who rose to such heights where all her books are termed as classics. She believed that a woman always needed a man for a good status in society. She thought that a woman can have a better life if she is wedded to a wealthy and good-looking man. Her own life gave her the experience of the intricacies of romance and realism, which inspired her fiction, and today her fiction is considered to be classic and timeless. Pride and Prejudice, Emma, Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park, Persuasion, and Northanger Abbey. Today, Austen is considered as the greatest English writer. I hope you must have liked my list, so please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, explore our website www.miraclewebstore.com. Until I make my next list, be in touch. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to Miracle English Language and Literature Institute. I am Professor Aphra Sharma, and in this video we are going to discuss the feminist female writers. The fictions or non-fictions which support the feminist goals of defining, establishing and defending equal civil, political, economic and social rights for women. It often identifies women's role as unequal to those of men. The fifth on our list is Mary Wollstonecraft, wife of William Godwin and mother of Mary Shelley. She died on the same day when Mary was born. She was a revolutionary thinker who sought to become the first of a new genius, a new kind of woman. She was an English writer, philosopher, and advocate of women's rights. She wrote a treatise called A Vindication of the Rights of Woman. She was a powerful case for liberating and educating women. At the same time, she lived out her theories. The next on our list is Taslima Nasreen, a famous Bangladeshi author and a former gynecologist. Her work reveals her feminist philosophy. Her work, All About a Woman, is a collection of poems which reflect the passion which makes her a feminist, a staunch fighter for women's rights and against religious fundamentalism and oppression against women. Her another work, Lajja, meaning shame, it was published in 1993, then banned in Bangladesh. Taslima had to flee from her own native country when fatwa was issued in her name. The extremist threatened to kill her. The third on our list is Virginia Woolf, the English modernist writer, significant figure in London literary society and a central figure in the influential Bloomsbury group of intellectuals. Her feminist writing, A Room of One's Own, was published in 1929 with its famous dictum, a woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction. A woman is made a housewife with a load of work around her, so she does not get the time to write. Moreover, she doesn't have the privacy and the financial freedom. The second on our list is Elaine Showalter, American literary critic and founder of feminist literary criticism. Her essay, Towards a Feminist Poetics, in which she calls the woman as a reader as feminist critique and the woman as a writer or gyno-critic. Her doctoral thesis, A Literature of Their Own, British women novelist from Bronte to Doris Lessings in 1977, in which she analyzed the literature by women from Bronte to Doris Lessings. Our list is topped by the author of The Second Sex, Simone de Beauvoir, a French writer, intellectual, existentialist, philosopher, political activist, and feminist. Her famous treatise, The Second Sex, is a detailed analysis of women's oppression. It sets out a feminist existentialism which prescribes a moral revolution. She argued that man had made women the other in society by application of a false aura, a mystery around them. She also says existence precedes essence, hence one is not born a woman but becomes one. I hope you must have liked my list, so please like, comment, share and subscribe. Also explore our website www.miraclewebstore.com. Till I make the next one, keep in touch. Take care. Bye-bye.